Tam O'Shanter by Robert Burns. When chapmen billies leave the street, and drouthy neighbours meet, as market days are wearing late, and folk begin to tack the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy, and getting fou and unco happy, we thinkna on the lang Scots miles, the mosses, waters, slaps and stiles, that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brows like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth fand honest Tam O'Shanter, as he frae airy nicht did canter, all dare, wha ne'er a town surpasses, for honest men and bonny lassies. O Tam, hadst thou but been sae wise as ta'en thy ain wife Kate's advice, she told thee weel thou was a skellum, a bletherin', blusterin', drunken blellum, that frae November till October, market day thou wasna sober, that ilka melder with a miller, thou sat as lang as thou had siller, that every naig was cad a shoe on, the smith and thee got roaring fou on, that at the Lord's house, evening Sunday, thou drank wi' kirt and jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon thou would be found deep drowned in Doon, or catched wi' warlocks in the mirk, by Alloway's auld haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, it gars me greet, to think how money counsels sweet, how money lengthens sage advices, the husband frae the wife despises. But to our tale, market nicht, Tam had get planted unco richt, fast by an ingle, bleezing finely, wi' reaming swats that drank divinely, and at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient trusty drouthy crony. Tam looed him like a vera brother, they had been fou for weeks together. The nicht drave on wi' sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, wi' secret favours, sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories, the landlord's laugh was ready chorus. The storm without might rear and rustle, Tam didna mind the storm a whistle. Care, mad to see a man sae happy, e'en drowned himsel amang the nappy. As bees flee hame wi' lades o' treasure, the minutes winged their way wi' pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er a' the ills o' life victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread, you seize the flower its bloom is shed, or like the snow falls in the river, a moment white, then melts forever. Or like the borealis race that flit ere you can point their place, or like the rainbow's lovely form, vanishing amid the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide, the hour approaches Tam maun ride, that hour o' nicht's black arch the keystane, that dreary hour he mounts his beast in, and sic a nicht he taks the road in, as ne'er poor sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as 'twould blawn its last, the rattling showers rose on the blast, the speedy gleams the darkness swallowed, loud, deep and lang the thunder bellowed. That nicht a child might understand, the deil had business on his hand. Wheel mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam skelpit on through Dubbin mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his gid blue bonnet, whilst craning o'er some old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirkalloway was drawing nigh, where ghasts and hoolits nichtly cry. By this time he was cross the ford, wherein the snaw the chapman smoored, and past the birks and meikle stane, where drucken Charlie braks neck bane, and through the whins and by the cairn, where hunters fan the murdered bairn, and near the thorn, aboon the well, where Mungo's mither hanged hersel. Before him, Doon pours all his floods, the doubling storm roars through the woods, the lightnings flash from pole to pole, near and more the thunders roll, when glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirkalloway seemed in a bleeze. Through ilka bore the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou canst make us scorn. We tippenny, we fear nae evil, we Ushka Bay we'll face the devil. The swats say reamed in Tammy's noddle, fair play he cardna deals a boddle. But Maggie stood, recht sair astonished, till by the heel and hand admonished, she ventured forward on the licht, and wow, Tam saw an unco sicht. Warlocks and witches in a dance, nae cotillion Brent knew fae France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathspeys and reels put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in shape a beast, a towsy tyke, black, grim and large, to gie them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gart them skirl, till roof and rafters a did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses, that shawed the deed in their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrip slight, each in its cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the haly table a murderer's banes in gibbet airns, twa span lang wi unchristened bairns, a thief new cutted frae the rape, wi his last gasp his gab did gape, 5 tomahawks wi blood red rusted, 5 scimitars wi murder crusted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whom his ain son o' life bereft, the grey hairs yet stacked to the heft, wi mair a horrible and awfu, which even to name would be unlawfu. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they cleekit, till ilka carlin swat and reekit, and coosed her duddies to the wark, and linkit at it in her sark. Now Tam, O Tam, had they been queens, all plump and strappin' in their teens, their sarks, instead of creeshy flannin, been snow-white 1700 linen, their breeks o' mine, my only pair, their aunts were plush a good blue hair, I would hae gi'en them off my hurdies, for ae blink o' they bonny birdies. But withered beldams, auld and droll, rig woody hags would speen a foal, loupin' and flingin' on a crummock. I wonder didna turn thy stomach. But Tam kenned what was fou brawly. There was ae winsome wench and wally, that nicht enlisted in the corps, lang after kenned on Carrick shore. For mony a beast to dead she shot, and perished mony a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and beer, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark o' Paisley harn, that while a lassie she had worn, in longitude, though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vaunty. Ah, little kenned thy reverend granny, that sark she coft for her wee nanny, wi' 12 Scots, 'twas a' her riches, would ever graced a dance o' witches. But here my muse her wing maun cower, sic flichts are far beyond her power, to sing how Nanny lap and flang, a supple jad she was and strang, and how Tam stood like ane bewitched, and thocht his very een enriched. Even Satan glowered, and fidged fou fain, and hotched and blew wi' micht and main, till first ae caper, syne another, Tam tint his reason o'thegither, and roars out, "Well done, Cutty Sark!" And in an instant all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied. As bees buzz out wi' angry fyke, when plundering herds assail their byke, as open pussy's mortal foes, when pop she starts before their nose, as eager runs the market crowd, when catch the thief resounds aloud, so Maggie runs, the witches follow, wi' mony an eldritch screech and hollow. Ah, Tam, thou'll get thy faring, in hell they'll roast thee like a herring. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, Kate soon will be a woe-fou woman. Now do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and win the keystane of the brig. There at them thou thy tail may toss, a running stream they darena cross. But ere the keystane she could make, the faint a tail she had to shake. For Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam wi' furious ettle. But little wist she Maggie's mettle. Ae spring brought off her master hale, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin clocht her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, wha this tale of truth shall read, ilk man and mother's son take heed. Whene'er to drink you are inclined, or Cutty Sarks run in your mind, think ye may buy the joys o'er dear. Remember, Tam O'Shanter's mere.